I made a video just before about all these feelings and the regret and the shame and guilt and that I wanted to live. And now I'm feeling that I'm really, really reconnecting down deep, deep, deep in my body, and that I can dance with being human. So I can dance with all those feelings. They don't have to go away, like the shitty feeling, because I called regret a shitty feeling. It's because I find it a tough one to deal with. But I accept it. I accept that it's there, and I really feel as if my love, my light, that sensitivity is extending out a hand to my human self, to the self of me, the part of me that's so stuck in all these feelings, to say, come, and I will just dance with you. You are good. I will bring you joy in your misery, in your guilt, in your regret, in all that you are. I will just love you and swirl you around and take you in my arms, and I just love you with everything, with your guilt, with your shame, with your regret, with your everything. Come, come and dance with me. So yeah, I just wanted to add that because it's and it's always a journey. This is also sometimes why I find it hard to post any videos like this, because as soon as I have listened or allowed something to just be present, the river flows and it changes immediately. So it's never stagnant. Whatever I share today is completely different tomorrow. Actually, whatever I shared 5 minutes ago changed already now. So, but it also gives hope that an hour ago I woke up feeling so stuck and feeling like this part of my body completely frozen and in this misery, and like there is no light, there is no hope. It's just gonna be like this shit and heavy forever, and I can never get out of this because I can never undo what I've already done wrong and blah blah, and it's just with every thought I basically put another rock on myself and I just bury myself deep, deep, deep in this. So that was the state of being that I woke up with, and right now I am in this uh, hope, renewed hope and joy and life, and I can feel also here what love is and how you can expand in your heart by especially loving all the parts of yourself that feel so difficult. Um, yeah, I'm not sure if I phrased that right. But anyway, it's beautiful. I invite myself to come and dance. Everything is welcome in this new party, and the sad child, the happy child, the guilt, the fear, all these emotions, they are welcome in this dance of love, of joy. Just yeah, come on in. You're invited. Come on in. You're invited. There is no feeling that's not welcome in this celebration of life. Yeah, there's nothing. There is no darkness that's not welcome back into the light. There is nothing, nothing, nothing that can't be embraced and loved by this huge, loving kindness. This huge, it's like this big mother energy that you can't even imagine. Love can be so big. It's so, and it's just picking up all those pieces that were sitting in the corners and in their regret and in their misery, and it's just taking them out of that misery and just picking them up and tossing them around so you forget all your worries and just become happy again. So that's really, really beautiful. So yeah, I'm gonna dance with myself today, with all my feelings, with all my regrets, with all my everything. I just welcome it and I take it with me. I welcome it into my day. I invite it back into life. Because maybe also often we just only want to take the parts of ourselves that we think are appropriate, are good enough, are nice enough, are welcome, are fun, are joy, and we stuff down all the stuff, all the shit that we think is not good enough. Whereas maybe if we would just let it in as well and be part of the game and be part of the party, all those parts that feel so sad will become happy too. So maybe all that we want, all that all of us want, like all of us, like all that we are inside of ourselves. So all of us wants is just being welcome, being loved, being invited, not being excluded. I guess being excluded, being abandoned, ay, that's the hardest wound, I guess. So where are you abandoning yourself? Which parts of you are you abandoning? Which part of you are you leaving behind in a lonely corner because you think they're not fun enough, not good enough to take with you in the social environment. You know, which parts of you are you ashamed of or embarrassed, or you think, oh my God, well, I'll deal with that when I'm alone. I won't bother anybody with that. So I'll leave myself here in this isolated corner, and because I've got to present my best self to the world. What if what if we could just present our true selves to the world? I guess we would all be much kinder actually if we do that. Softer. We'd feel more loved, feel more safe. Our shadows won't be acting so sneaky because there is no shadow because we've just invited it in the light. Yeah. Ah, I've got some very sore jaw shit going on. So anyway, part of part of my day. Sore jaw. Yeah. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna heal. And maybe healing is just opening the doors, inviting all parts of yourself back into the light. I guess that's where there is peace and relief. If you're a sad child, or you're wounded, or you're in pain, and you're put behind the door, and you are only allowed back in when you're all nice and shiny and happy and a smile on your face, I guess what's happening behind that door, you'll feel so alone in your pain. And so afraid because now you are not good enough, you are not lovable anymore because you're excluded. And how can you fix it? Because you can't help it. You're in pain. That's not something that you choose to be. It happened. What would happen if the door would open and someone said, "Come on in, I love you," and you would just be given a big hug, and you could express yourself. You could say, "Oh, I'm in so much pain. My heart is aching." Or maybe you didn't need to talk, and yeah, how would you feel if it would be safe, if you would feel safe and embraced rather than excluded and rejected, when you're not showing up a certain way? And how can we create that space, that loving space for ourselves, first of all, bringing all those parts, opening all those doors, allowing back in all the parts of ourselves that have been pushed behind closed doors, welcoming back in. I guess when we do that, we also become more compassionate to other people. And we can heal each other, and we can heal the world by allowing things to be the way they are, not trying to fix it, to force it, to change it, to just love it. Just love it. Let it be. Give it space. God. Yeah. I've got quite some grief and sadness to feel myself. Parts that I often hide as well. Because I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable, and there is this fear, always this fear of being too much. Too much joy, too much excitement, but also too much depth, too much feelings, too much pain, too much grief, too much hurt. Like my heart can ache really, 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 really deep. And I don't think I've ever felt free or the space to really just go into that depth and to just feel it all. Always felt like, okay, come on, just let's brush it under the carpet now and just let's get back on to normal, please. Let's just, keep it easy and let's just keep on going. Like life gets very uncomfortable around me when I show up with this depth. So this pain in me has felt like a burden for so And last year, when I was standing in a natural pool of water, I connected with this pain, and then I felt, but I'm not a burden, I'm a blessing. I'm a blessing. But I guess the question is, who is brave enough to allow this blessing to come to the surface? To endure the discomfort and not being able to fix it, but just allowing it to be, because all this pain ever wanted was just the space to be. But it's so many times it got judged, or like, oh, but you should have done this, or you should have done that, or yeah, but it's because of, or it's happened like reasons, or why you shouldn't feel it that way, or why you should see it in a different way. So this pain has been shamed a long time, many times. How can we create a place just to listen? Just to listen. Who can do that? Who can hold space for pain? Can we allow life to be both beautiful and difficult? Beautiful and painful? Can we accept that life is both and not shame life, each other, or ourselves for the fact that it is? Life is, I guess, life and death, birth and death, and it is joy and grief. And the deeper you love, the deeper it hurts to let it go, maybe. Then you can tell, well, just don't love, because if you don't love anything, there is no pain of letting go of anything. But there is also no life, because life is maybe this heartbeat with ups and downs. I have high highs and I have deep lows. And I felt, I guess, ashamed and embarrassed for both of them my entire life. Too much. Too much in the highs, too much in the lows. But I do want to express myself. I, I, I wish to express my full colors and not try to make myself fit into a box that maybe is more easily digestible for the people around me, but that it's not a reflection of me. It's just a very flat image, and it's hurting me because, and this is something that I felt for a long time, nobody will have known me by the time I die, because I haven't been able to show myself, to share myself, to really reveal the truth of my being, the depth of my beauty, and not beauty in a physical way, but beauty of my inner, the inner beauty that I carry. Because I've been ashamed of that. I've been made ashamed of my sensitivity, of my depth, of my childlike excitement. Yeah, and I don't know, because I feel there is a lot that wants to come out, there is a lot that wants to be expressed, and I still don't want to take up too much space. So I'm still kind of want to open up and express, and part of me says, yeah, shh, don't be too much now, shh, calm down, calm down. It'll be too much for people. They won't. And then at the other hand, if it is too much, then that's okay too. Because part of me is also, I just want to live, and it feels like maybe almost like a volcano erupting. Like, just, I can't hold it back anymore. I need to get it out. I need to be me. I need to live. And then whatever this lava burns away around me, it burns away. It's because it's not possible to contain myself any longer, to make myself less than what I am any longer, just to be relatable to other people. I tried so hard. But I can't. So maybe it's the fear of losing everything, but maybe losing everything is also where actually everything gets birthed, and where I can come to life again. And what I lose is my old fears and my old beliefs and my. Oh, anyway. And this is how the river of my life flows. I mean, it starts with a heavy feeling of regret, and we travel into the release. I want to be happy and I want to live. And then we move into this loving space that welcomes it all the feelings. And now, in this loving space, this whatever emotion now is coming up to the surface, to be seen, to be felt, to be heard by me mainly, because only I can give birth to me. No one else can do that. It's up to me to choose to not hold back anymore and to allow whatever comes up to flow freely. And to accept that I cannot control my environment and how my environment will receive me. And that's the scary part. And it's also the liberating part. Because if I allow myself to flow, if I allow myself to be born, then it's what it is. And then we'll see, I can surrender into that. I can surrender into what happens. I don't need to control the outcome. I just need to be me. And that's easier said than done. Especially with all these fears of being too much. Too much for who? Too much for myself or too much for others? Or just too much for my brain that thinks it will be too much for others? And what would happen if I would allow myself just the space that I need? It doesn't need to be a short video. It doesn't need to be quick. It doesn't need to be shared. It doesn't need to be watched. I'm not recording for anybody else. I'm here recording for me. To allow myself space. Not forcing myself upon anybody else. Ah. Oh. Oh. It's about coming home to my own center. Taking up space. Existing. The right to exist. Also if people don't like me. The right to breathe. Also if people don't like me. The right to be. Also if that triggers others. Accepting that I am. And there's nothing I can do about that. I am. God, it's uncomfortable. Reconnecting to self, being present, taking up space. Claiming my space. And using my space to express myself, claiming the right to express myself within my life. And nobody needs to like that. Nobody needs to stay in my life. I see my life as this big sheet of white paper. And this piece of paper is mine. It's my birthright. And I can express myself on this sheet of paper. But I'm hearing many voices of this around me that are telling me what I should do with my life and what I shouldn't do with my life and what I cannot. So I shut down and I didn't dare to take up this space, this life that is mine, to express myself, because I wanted to please all those voices around me, not make anybody angry, not make anybody upset with my creation, with myself. And it's easy to completely just shut down and do nothing and to let other people control my life, to let other people take over and squirrel even in my life about what should happen and what shouldn't happen. And it takes a lot of courage to take back my life. And to just express myself. And it's this self-expression that pushes away these voices, these energies of others. But it starts from within. I can't wipe it out. If I fight them, I'll get completely drained. I lose all my energy. So I need to find the courage and the strength to express myself from the inside out, like the sun or like a fountain. It starts in the center, and from there it pushes its energy out. And because it pushes its own frequency out, it's moving aside these energies that are not mine, that took over my life, that controlled my life, that felt they had the right to command me who to be, how to be, to tell me what to express, what not to express, what to say, what not to say, what to be, what not to be. They controlled my life. But I have the right to claim it back and to say, this life is mine. And I'm just gonna express myself. And from there we will see what happens. And that, I guess, is reclaiming my power. Not fearing these outside energies, voices, people, not fighting them either, but just focus on myself, focus on this is me. And I'm gonna express myself. I'm gonna take up space. This is my life. This is my voice. These are my colors. This is me. And I was created, so I have the right to live. I have the right to exist. I find it not necessarily a comfortable place to be right now. I noticed that also I'd like to go back to the party and to the surface. And the la 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 la. But then I abandon myself again, so I choose to stay with me here. to stand with myself, for myself, and to fight this fight for justice. And the justice just being the right to be myself. I can claim that and only I can do so. So I stand here by me, with me, against all odds or judgments or opinions of the outside world that might think a million thousand things of me. Just do this, just do that, you shouldn't, you should. Nah, I'm just gonna be here with me and not allow all those voices to take over who I am and how I should live my life, because that actually is my birthright. And I am free to claim my life and to express myself. And I'll stay true to that. I can see the injustice that I've done to myself. And how easy it is to step away from what's difficult. And to just want to go back to where it's easy. Just go back to where it's easy. But what are you sacrificing? Maybe the most purest part of yourself. Sacrificing yourself just for this so-called peace, which is not real peace. It's just where we obey and we do what we're told by someone that doesn't really care for you. That's not peace, that's not love. That's power. That's fear, that's control. Being controlled. I'm gonna stand by my own truth. I'm gonna give space to my own soul. Yes, to my depth. Yes, to the difficult questions. Yes, to the confusion. Yes, to all that fucks up our mind that thought, well, don't be difficult because we've just sorted this shit out and don't want to be there. Yes, I'm saying yes to everything that's uncomfortable. As much as I'm saying yes to everything that's so beautiful. To this day, to the sunlight, the sound of the birds, the water of the ocean. The love of the sun for my body, for my truth. Life is loving me. I'm loving me. I welcome love in. Love for who I am. All of me. I welcome love for my greatness, for my depth, for my muchness, for my humanness. I invite myself into today. Also this part, the part of the discomfort. The part that's struggling, the part that wants to be born, the part that wants to break free. That can't hold back, but it has been holding back because it didn't want to be too much. You know, this friction, this contradiction. I'm gonna sit with it. I'm gonna take it with me. I'm gonna dance with it. I'm gonna hold it and nurture it and nourish it. I'm gonna make it a beautiful, welcoming,